Good morning. I love listening to all the testimonies here from other members, so I'm very grateful and honored to share my faith story. And we are blessed to be here, as only one essence turns on the light in my path. The truth, that truth, that we can only experience through divine love. We are blessed to be here, my name is Jimena, and I came to Canada after marrying Mark, whom I miraculously met 2 months and a half before on a dating site. And I was raised Catholic. Yeah, when my parents got divorced, I was 8 years old. And being in church or doing my course for communion was my anchor out of the pain, out of what I was feeling at home. And my search began. I was 12 years old, and I said to my grandmother, she's my lifelong confidant, I don't believe in God. It's like that thing. She started asking me questions that made me come to the conclusion what was bothering me was not God itself, but the idea of a God that's outside us, which is delusional. So I understood God as this superior force that allows miracles to happen, not to us, but through us. Miracles have blessed my life. And I understood that in order to achieve my goals in life, I had to work according to the laws of the God of love. And in my late teens, I immersed myself in Buddhist meditation, in yoga, and it again changed everything. I related in caring for my health as caring for life, and caring for life to care for the ones around me. And that was a thought that made my heart sing. So I chose it as my life path. In those days, I still refused to call him God. And in my yoga studios, I came in touch with mantras, devotional singing, and I also embraced the medicine indigenous traditions in which we sing, we have medicine songs, joy songs, gratitude songs, songs for strength, and it all started coming together, and I came to Canada. I found my great yoga spiritual teacher, and he asked us to read a book from the Vedic scriptures called the Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's a song to the Lord of Love, God, the God of Love himself. And it's a long prayer to elevate our thoughts on God. I was like, what? Even the yogis talk about God? My mind started to settle, melting into the loving thought of God and the commitment to practice selfless devotional service and devote my life not only for the happiness of this life, but the happiness of life after death. Over a year passed, and we were invited to a concert by a friend in another United Church, and something special spoke to my heart. There I was, listening to the readings from the Holy Bible, understanding its sacredness, and finding a place of healing for the wounds from my childhood experiences related to religion. During the last 15 months that we have come regularly to Canadian Memorial United Church, I feel so uplifted listening to those readings and relating Jesus Christ's life as an example to love and enlightenment. An answer came to me. It is my time to review the true Christian message, the one that states that God is within us, not outside us. That awareness is a great gift, a gift that we have and we should never forget. If I was only aware of just very little of all the good and all the blessings I receive moment by moment, no thread of suffering would be left in my life. How would my life look if I lived according to infinite gratitude. What feelings could I realize when thinking of all my blessings? No fear could come to me, no desire could come to me, and only a full eternal satisfaction would stay in my heart. I am loving this congregation, truly am. And what I get here is priceless. Therefore, I give because it is a great practice to express gratitude. I give because the truth is that we can have everything we want in this life. We can live according to our divine purpose, in line with God's plan. And we need to be it in order to live it. And that is what I call faith. And giving is an act of faith too. And for me it happened when I was in Canada for the first few months, and Mark and I started the sponsored spouse permanent residency application over 2 years ago. I am celebrating today that my application was approved last Thursday. So this 27-month waiting period put some limitations in my life. One of them being I was not allowed to work. And after my first 3 months here, my biggest giving challenges started. Conversations with my grandmother and my mom were always leading me to the act of tithing. And together with reading a book by Edwin Gaines, and this is called The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. The first law that she states in her book is tithing. She goes on for a whole chapter. I thought, what am I going to give if we just make some money to eat? With my husband Mark as my sponsor. And well, I had left Mexico and I had sold my yoga studio for 120,000 pesos. So that's around $10,000. And at that moment, I just had in my bank account this, like the same amount of $1,000, so exact 10%. And tithing is an act of giving 10% of your income to the source of your spiritual food. So for me, that money could be extra for comfort or emergency, and I gave it. I remember handing the last $20 in cash to the leader of our sweat lodge ceremony. And I cried, and I felt like I could let myself go, let go of the attachment, and trust. Trust that I was giving from a pure place. And it was 2 weeks later that I unexpectedly received that exact amount, 10%, like the $1,000 in my bank account. And I like staying in an abundant mindset, which is the mindset that allowed me to find such a great partner in life and enjoy this beautiful community. I can only keep my abundant mindset if I act as it. And that's why I mention it. You have to be it in order to live it. And there is something unique about this church. And that is the family-friendly environment that is created every single Sunday. Beautiful music, and the unique efforts that this congregation makes to be a strong community with high values. Therefore, it is important to us to contribute to the continuity of this beautiful home of God. My wish is that as I share my story, we get to know each other and acknowledge the greatness within each one of us. As I understand, our stories may have different appearances, but in their depths, they are the same. We go through the same struggles, and we go through the same joys. And if we are here, it's to lift us together from the sense of hopelessness that can be present in our lives when we forget that we are children of God. Thank you.